All right, let's talk about Space Marines. This is from my Discord. Actually, someone in my Discord posted this in story ideas, and I was like, "This is pretty cool. I got to dig into this," and it's pretty interesting. The Army is training the first batch of Space Marines, and this is how baby Space Marines are made. I don't really know what this picture is, but let's see. It's U.S. Marine Corporal Aaron Henson, a combat correspondent with the Public Affairs Office Headquarters and Headquarters Squadron, conducts a functions check on his M50 field protective mask during chemical, biological, radiological, and nuclear defense training before entering the gas training at Marine Corps Air Station Iwakuni. I don't know if I'm saying that correct. In Japan back in 2017. The U.S. Army will be training the first batch of Space Marines about 9 months after Marine Corps Commandant General David Berger ordered the activation of the new Marine Corps Forces Space Command. Select Marines from the Nascent Unit will start training at the Army's Space and Missile Defense School in Colorado Springs, Colorado. According to an Army News release, which said they'll learn situational awareness of space capabilities, space assets, space products, and the impact of space on operations. In other words, they'll learn a lot about space. But in plain English, they'll likely be getting trained on satellite communications and how to ward off enemy missiles under the instruction of experts at the Army Space and Missile Defense Command. Then, after they complete training, the Marines will embed with Army space support teams, which enhance intelligence and operation planning capabilities for units in the field. Comprised of 4 enlisted soldiers and 2 officers, ARSST bring a knowledge base of space-based military capabilities like satellite intelligence and communications. They can even jam enemy communications and take part in navigation warfare, according to an Army guide from 2017. The Marines will fall in on Space and Missile Defense Command's training, said Major Stephen Richards, an ARSST officer in charge with 2nd Space Company, 1st Space Battalion, and 1st Space Brigade. We will get them schooled up on certification tables to be fully prepared to bring their space expertise back to whomever is requesting it. After that, the Marines will then build out their first Marine space support teams, and that, my friends, is how Space Marines are born. No offense to retired Marine Colonel and first American to orbit the Earth, John Glenn. I have a huge affinity for the Marines, and now to be able to bring them into our organization and train them on a mission set that not many people truly understand or know is special for me and this organization, said Army Colonel Donald Brooks, the commander of the 1st Space Brigade, who was attached to a Marine unit during the 2007 deployment to Iraq. As we execute operations for an exercise or a real-world deployment, having those Marines in the Army together in the connective tissue working hand in hand is critical as we fight this future joint fight. Still, these Marines will be a far cry from the bolt gun armed Space Marines from Warhammer 40,000 or the Colonel Marines of Aliens fame. And there are no plans yet to launch Space Grunts into orbit. As Marine officials explained in a December news release, the Corps' main goal is to get qualified Space Marines on the staff of Marine Expeditionary Forces, MEF, so they can provide the commander situational awareness of the space domain, among other items. The MSST, the Marine Space Support Teams, concept is currently in the experimental phase, which will be complete when all 3 MEFs have been trained, likely spring of 2021. Lieutenant Colonel Joseph Huka Horvath, a space operations officer, said in the release. It's been slow going. Currently, Marine Space Command is still trying to figure out its personnel needs and work out standard operation procedures for how it does things, according to Marine Captain Jacob Loya, a space operations planner helping in the training. Right now, This is a capability that doesn't exist in the Marine Corps. It's always us reaching out to the joint force to provide it, says Loya, meaning that Marines in the field can't get space-based toys as quickly and or easily as other services. For instance, the 1st Space Brigade operates the Army-Navy / Transportable Radar Surveillance System, or the ANTPY-2, which detects and tracks ballistic missiles. The unit also gathers data and intelligence for commanders off a worldwide network of satellites. With a renewed emphasis on space and standing up of the Space Force and Space Command, the Marine Corps needs to have skin in the game, says Loya, a communications officer with a satellite communications background. We want to be able to operate independently, and that starts by learning all of the TTPs, tactics, techniques, and procedures built out by 1st Space Brigade. It's a knowledgeable base we just don't have. As if to illustrate that the Marines have a lot to learn, the release said there was no set time limit on how long they'll remain integrated with the companies in the 1st Space Brigade. But the intention is to establish their own autonomous Marine space support teams. So if one of America's Space Marines ends up screaming "Hooah!" from the surface of Mars one day, you'll understand why. It also could be because they are a bunch of crayon eaters. Just kidding. I love you guys. Thank you all for your service. I just have a brother who just got out of the Marines, so I love poking fun. He admits it himself. All right, it's not a surprise.